Good morning, Emerson. Today is Thursday, November 14th. One World Trade Center is open for business. Brittany will give you the recap on the ribbon cutting that helped heal the nation.
And later, we will be speaking with Dr. Chris Lowe, shark expert, who's speaking at the screening of Great White Shark 3D tonight at the aquarium.
I'm Anthony Chase.
And I'm Maggie Morlath. Welcome to Good Morning, Emerson.
Maggie and I are ready to get your Thursday morning started off the right way. Vundabar's in studio, the musical group that is ready to rock your socks off here.
That's right. We'll be rocking out with them later on. But first, Mike has some news for us.
That's right. The MLB Awards started last night. We're going to tell you who the best manager was and also the Cy Young Award winners. I think Koji Uehara got snubbed. He came in 7th, but we'll see what happens.
We'll see about that. And then Angelina Jolie is starring in a new movie, Maleficent, where she is the villain from the Sleeping Beauty movie. Kristen's going to tell us all about that. But we begin today with an explosion in California. Brittany Gervais has the latest. Brittany?
Yes, we do have some tragic news this morning. 4 Marines were killed yesterday during a range accident in Camp Pendleton, California. The unexploded artillery detonated during a routine maintenance operation around 11 a.m. The names of the victims have not yet been released until their families have been notified. The cause of the accident is currently under investigation. Now, the first office tower at Ground Zero since the September 11th attacks is open for business. A ribbon-cutting ceremony was held yesterday morning, followed by a free public concert in celebration. Now, let's take a look at what it looks like inside. The 72-story building, just named the tallest skyscraper in the U.S., cost about $2 billion to build. Across the street will also be a museum dedicated to the terrorist attacks, expected to open sometime next year. Hawaii is now the 16th state in the U.S. to allow gay marriage. The measure finally gained approval from the Democratic-controlled legislature Tuesday. It's set to take effect December 2nd, redefining marriage in a state many newlyweds go for their honeymoon. The measure finally gained approval with a 19-4 vote in the Senate. President Obama, who was born in Hawaii, says he is very proud of his home state. And now going to an update on the relief efforts in the Philippines. Delays in food, water, and medical supplies are sparking panic in the country. Thousands of people stormed a rice warehouse on Leyte Island, the worst area hit by the typhoon. They made off with about 100,000 bags of rice. 8 people were killed during the raid. But relief efforts are underway. Here you can see food and water being given in the city of Tacloban. The area sustained a lot of damage, however, and only 20% of the people have received aid so far. Now, that's all the news I have for you this morning. Back to you on the couch.
Thank you, Brittany. Now, it's been devastating as we're watching this death toll rising from the Philippines, but how can we help the people that are struggling right now?
You know, there's a lot of ways to give money to this great cause. You can go through UNICEF or World Vision. They have a huge fund going for the survivors of the typhoon. But what's interesting is you can also go through iTunes and Facebook. They have a donation going as well. So that's definitely a great cause, and the people in the Philippines really need any help they can get right now.
Brittany, on a happier note, what a great moment for New York City yesterday. The World Trade Center looks beautiful in that skyline, quite literally a beacon of hope for the city and for the nation.
Definitely, absolutely. This is definitely a huge moment for both the city of New York and the nation. This building has definitely become a symbol of how strong we are as a country. So what I'm looking forward to is just going to New York myself and being able to walk into the building and see what it looks like.
Thanks, Brittany. Me too. What do you think is the best part about this building? I know we saw that it has the red, white, and blue lights on the side too.
Definitely. Well, it's just been named one of the tallest skyscrapers in the country, so that's definitely become, a statement of what we have accomplished. I know there was some fallback because there's only one tower instead of 2, but I just really like the appearance of it. You know how it
it's a beautiful building.
Absolutely. I think it really symbolizes the unity of us coming together as a country and just overcoming what happened 12 years ago.
Absolutely.
That's right. We may be Boston strong, but I think we're all in an Empire state of mind.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, Brittany. We're all feeling the cold this week, but I'm hoping Mal, our weather correspondent, has some good news for the future.
It's time to get our morning weather update.
Good morning to you both. And yes, great news. We're having some very nice weather that we were expecting this weekend, but it came early. Right now, it's a nice 36 degrees. But later on today, it's going to warm up to 49, a welcome change from the cold we've been feeling for the last few days. On top of that, clear sunny skies throughout the day. It'll still be windy from 15 to 20 miles per hour, so be prepared for that. Moving into tonight, sunset at 4:23 p.m. Temperatures will have reached about 43 degrees at that point. Clear skies throughout the evening, and overnight we're looking at a low of 34 degrees. And into tomorrow, it will be partially cloudy for most of the day. That wind over the last few days will have died down, and we're looking forward to a high of 55 degrees. In the evening, it will remain warm, only dipping down to 44 overnight. That's what's happening today and tomorrow. Let's take a look at your weekend weather forecast. This could be one of the last really warm weekends, so try to get outside. On Saturday, looking at a high of 55 degrees around the city, the sun will peek out here and there with partially cloudy skies. Temperatures dropping down rapidly after 6 p.m., which is unusually late in the day, low of just 40 degrees around midnight. Sunday, high again of 55, but mostly cloudy. Into the afternoon and evening, there's a 30% chance of rain, low of 50 degrees. And next week, Monday, high of 58 degrees, but showers throughout the day, especially in the afternoon, so make sure you grab an umbrella. And that's your local weather update. I'm Mal Meyer. Back over to Anthony and Maggie.
Thanks, Mal. All sorts of majors here at Emerson work day in and day out to produce shows like this, but we're recently finding out that these majors are less than desirable.
That's right. Pay scale ranked the majors in order of what they would recommend the least, or what alumni have recommended the least. It goes anthropology, history, visual communication, social science, and journalism.
And two of those on the list really big here at Emerson, communication and journalism. Especially here on Emerson Channel, we've got plenty of journalism majors working every single day. And it's kind of hard to hear something like this because here at Emerson, we're all working towards careers that we love and we're all putting in our hard work and dedication.
Yeah, I mean, we're just still in school right now, but once we become alumni, I hope we don't regret our decision to come here. I mean, I'm having so much fun doing what I love to do every day. I don't really see how I could, no matter what I end up doing in the real world.
I think at Emerson especially, no one is picking a major like journalism or something like that filmed as a cop-out. Everyone is picking a major that they're extremely driven to, that they're feel impassioned about. And I just don't think that here at Emerson, any of these majors are things that people are going to regret later in life.
And that sort of reflects out in the field. You see people who really love what they do, and these are really important jobs. I mean, you think about the entertainment industry. Would you rather live in a world with no entertainment and everybody were just business majors coming out of school and, open stores? Or would you like to live in a world where people feel compelled to be creative and share their ideas, especially with journalism? Journalism is probably one of the biggest ones. I mean, I don't know how anybody could regret going into a field where you actually get to shape the thoughts and minds of the people that you're reaching out to.
That's right, especially with journalism. People say that it's a dying breed, it's a dying career path. But here at Emerson, I think we're being prepared for the harsh reality, but also for some success.
I think we're here to stay, and so is Jimmy this morning. We just have to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
But when we come back, we'll be diving into dangerous waters as we interview our shark expert, Dr. Chris Lowe. We are now pleased to introduce Dr. Chris Lowe, professor in marine biology and director of the University of California State University at Long Beach Shark Lab.
Dr. Lowe is going to be at the New England Aquarium tonight to speak at the screening of Great White Shark in 3D and IMAX. That's pretty exciting.
It is pretty exciting.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks
and
for
I
having me.
have to start off by asking, how did you get interested in marine biology?
Well, it started when I was really young. I grew up in Martha's Vineyard, and I used to go fishing all the time, and I caught lots of fish, but then I caught a shark. When I was 8, I caught my first dogfish, and that was it. There was something special about that compared to all the other fish I caught, and that started it.
So obviously you love these creatures, you're a local guy, but I have to let you in on a fun fact that I'm from the town where the last shark-related death happened in Massachusetts in 1936. That was a long time ago, so how do you think the fear has sort of transformed, or do you think that fear is really rational at this point in 2013?
Well, that's always sharks are an industry, actually. They're an iconic industry. So what's happened is people have kind of perpetuated that fear, even though the reality of actually encountering sharks is really low. So on the Cape back in the 30s, that's probably when there were more sharks around. Then shark populations probably went down, but since then they're probably coming back up. And that's why it's becoming news again. But the fear of sharks, however, has been kind of perpetuated over time. And it's an irrational fear. I mean, for example, you have a much better chance of being killed driving to the beach than you ever would from encountering a shark. So it's a little strange that people are so fearful of sharks.
You'd never even think about it.
So if people are so fearful of sharks, what makes you so interested in sharks?
Well, it's because they're a cool animal. They really are. They're amazing. They've been around for hundreds of millions of years. They're well designed for their environment. They're an important predator in the ocean. And they have all these amazing sensory abilities that most other fish don't have. So for that reason, that's one of the reasons I'm drawn to them.
So this film at the IMAX theater at the aquarium, first of all, the aquarium IMAX is one of the coolest I've seen. It's huge. It's incredible. But what can we expect from this a little bit?
Well,
you just want to give us a teaser.
It will give you a perspective, right? So one of the things you lose when you're watching Shark Week and you're watching a shark swimming on TV is it looks small. It's on TV. But on the big screen, that's more in perspective. So you're going to see animals that are very large that on the big screen are going to look very large. And it's just beautiful format.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for today, but thank you so much for joining us. Right now, we have to go to Mike Cantalupo, who's got the best of the best in baseball. Here's Mike with the MLB Awards.
We all know that you guys are the best in the TV world, but for MLB pitchers, Cy Young Awards were handed out yesterday. No big surprises here as the Tigers' Max Scherzer won it in the AL and Dodgers' ace Clayton Kershaw won it in the NL. Scherzer had a 21-3 record with a 2.90 ERA. He earned 28 of the 30 votes, while Kershaw, who had a 16-9 record with a, get this, 1.83 ERA, earned a near unanimous 23 of 30 votes. Now, while it's going to be a tough race between Maggie and Anthony to win the Evie for Best Television Personality, it may have been an even closer race to decide who was this year's American League Manager of the Year. Now, it came down to two guys who have coached in Fenway before, Terry Francona, who's now with the Indians, and John Farrell, the first-year skipper for the Sox. In the end, it was Terry Francona who the voters decided was the AL's best manager with 17 of the 30 votes. At first, I was a bit surprised. And I'm still a bit surprised. Sure, Francona completely changed the culture of Cleveland's locker room and guided them to a 24-game improvement, but John Farrell took one of the worst teams in the league and in his first year made them World Series champions. But I digress. The biggest award of them all comes out today, the Most Valuable Player Award. In the AL, most experts expect either Miguel Cabrera, Mike Trout, or dark horse candidate Chris Davis to come away with the title. Now, personally, I fully expect it to be Cabrera, who won it last year and also already won the Hank Aaron Award for the league's best hitter earlier this week. In the NL, it'll likely come down to Andrew McCutchen or Yadier Molina, but let's be real. Who has been more valuable to their team than the Pirates' Andrew McCutchen? He was the key reason the Pirates snapped a 26-game postseason drought, and he deserves the award. Now, the Celtics, they deserve an award for the way they've played the last 4 games. They matched up against the Bobcats last night, seeking their 5th straight win. We take it straight to the 4th quarter. Things are getting a little bit heated. Tight game. Late in the game, Al Jefferson, the former Celtic, gets the mid-range jumper. Bobcats lead by 6, but Celtics looking to respond. Down 8, Jeff Green with the layup, and then the N1. And then right after that, Jordan Crawford, quick after that, an N1 off the jumper. Don't count Boston out. They're down only 2, but then the Bobcats say, not so fast, my man. Al Jefferson again seals the deal with the putback layup. He had a double-double, 22 points and 11 rebounds. The Bobcats snap the Celtics win streak. They win 89-83. Now that's all I got for sports. Back to GME's MVPs, Maggie and Anthony.
Thanks, Mike. I only have one question for you. How do you think the Pats match up against the Panthers this week in the NFC?
Well, I mean, they had a bye week, and you kind of need those 2 weeks to prepare for a player like Cam Newton. It's hard to find a player on the practice squad that can match up to Cam Newton's abilities. So having those 2 weeks to look over game film and also not only prepare for Cam Newton, but prepare for a tough tough Carolina defense is really going to help them out.
They're ranked second in the league, so that should be interesting.
But now Christian Mudrick has some celeb stories for us. Angelina Jolie is back in action.
Oh, and Stevie Nicks. Christian, what's going on?
Thanks, guys. Everybody always told me that traffic in LA is horrendous, and now I guess we know why. Kim Kardashian was pulled over on Tuesday for speeding, and it only went downhill from there. Kardashian had been weaving in and out of lanes and accelerating to avoid paparazzi who were just bumpers away when she was finally pulled over. Apparently, the paparazzi then slammed on their brakes in the middle of a freeway in order to snap pics of Kim getting the citation. A helicopter was also hovering overhead to catch a bird's-eye perspective. Needless to say, the police were pissed because the stopped cars blocked a lot of traffic and caused a scene over something petty. Unfortunately, most of the photographers fled before feeling the swift justice of the LAPD. Just when we thought American Horror Story couldn't get any better, it has been confirmed that Stevie Nicks will make a guest appearance. Creator Ryan Murphy revealed on Twitter that Stevie will appear on the show on Tuesday. Misty Day, played by Lily Rabe, a young bohemian witch from the Bayous, is obsessed with the white witch Stevie Nicks and has been alluding to some sort of relevance to Nicks and Fleetwood Mac as a whole. Murphy has worked with Nicks, whom he personally has loved from a young age, on Glee when they did a tribute to Fleetwood Mac. Since then, Nicks and Murphy have remained close. Viewers everywhere, including myself, rejoice the day when Nicks appears because we know Misty will finally have some joy in her lonely little life. Posters and a trailer for Angelina Jolie's new movie Maleficent have surfaced. Disney's plan is to retell the story of Princess Aurora from the perspective of the evil witch Maleficent, played by Jolie. It would appear from the trailer that Jolie is playing some sort of watchful eye over Aurora and that they're going to give her a less of an evil vibe, much like how Wicked provides a depth and sympathetic arc to the Wicked Witch of the West. I'm just glad to see Angelina come out of her hibernation with such a powerful role. Hopefully it will translate as well as Charlize Theron's Ravenna in Snow White and the Huntsman. The movie is set to be released in the summer of 2014. It looks like Miley wasn't the only one causing controversy at the European Music Awards this past weekend. Katy Perry arrived at the event wearing a ring on that finger. She has what appears to be a modest but shiny ring on her left-hand ring finger. The pop singer has been openly dating John Mayer for the past 6 months, and family and friends of the stars both say that they want to see the two get engaged because they're said to be perfect for one another. Although Perry was married before and that didn't turn out too well, and Mayer has a history of exes as long as Taylor Swift's, so I'm sure there will be more on that story to come. That's all the juicy gossip I have for you today. Back to you guys on the couch.
So from one Coven fan to another, what do you think of Stevie Nicks, who isn't an actress, appearing on such a talent-driven show?
Well, I'm pretty excited. They did something really cool with Adam Levine last season when they, had him come on. He basically played himself until his arm got ripped off, and then he was just an armless version of himself. So I'm sure they're going to find a really cool way to showcase Stevie's talents in the show. I think she's really just going to show up as a celebrity for Misty Day's character.
Thanks, Christian.
Well, I can't wait to see Stevie Nicks rocking out on American Horror Story, but when we come back, we'll be rocking out with the musical stylings of Vundabar. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. It's time for Maggie and I to hand the show over to our music correspondent, Jess Griffith.
Make sure to tune in on Tuesday. We've got Rose Federa teaching us how to make snow globes.
But for now, it's time for Vundabar. How do you say that, Maggie?
Auf Wiedersehen!
Auf Wiedersehen!
Cheers!
Thanks, Maggie and Anthony. Coming up, we'll have a live performance from Vundabar, but first, I got to speak with them about their music. Breaking away from a previous band, Vundabar formed last year and recorded their first album. I got a chance to sit down with them and learn a little bit more about the band.
I'm Brandon. I play guitar, sing.
I'm Drew. I play the drums, don't sing.
I'm Zach. I play bass and sing sometimes.
My sister played guitar, put it down, I picked it up, there you have it.
Started playing drums at the crisp age of 12. Very big age. Just thought it'd be a fun time.
I've been playing drums like my whole life because my dad's a drummer and there's always been a drum set in the house. And then like middle school, I started playing guitar and bass, so.
Well, we started as a recording project about a year ago. Drew and I here, recording in the house. Laid down some tunes. Had just been in another band, stopped being in that band, wanted to take it a little more serious. Our pal Zach hopped on to the train, and we've been going strong ever since. I think like, as a band, like what we sound like is something between the Pixies and Nirvana. Just, what other bands like?
But with some hip hop pop.
Some hip hop pop in there. It's definitely, it's just, there's pop in it definitely, but it can be loud and ugly too. So I say rock and roll when people ask what we are.
Now that we know a little bit more about the band, let's go into the studio to hear them live.
Dance on the railroad tracks. Boy, don't step on cracks or you will break your mother's back. Boy, don't step on cracks. Girl, I wanna be your boy. Girl, black magic toy. Papa, you broke another mirror. Another glass is broke. The image seems clear. So you'd better watch your back. Don't you cross no black cat. Girl, I wanna be your black magic boy. Boy, I wanna be your girl. Boy, black magic world. What do they call it? The graveyard shuffle. The devil's dance and angels struggle. And you found yourself between the two. Can't ask no vagabond what's it Girl, I wanna be your black magic toy. Boy, I wanna be your black magic world.
Yep.